the punt. That's not my style, man. That ain't no fun.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football. Let's talk football.
With Coach Val. Said, hut. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. I'm your host, Gil Valtierra, the voice of Calaveras Football. A big thank you and welcome to a brand new season. This is the first episode of Season 2 of Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. I'd like to welcome in the studio my guest, Head Varsity Football coach at Calaveras High Manny Mossa, and legendary O-line, D-line coach at Calaveras, Coach Scott Anderson.
What up?
Guys, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, thank you for being here today.
Love the new intro.
Thank you.
Love
Hey,
it.
big shout out to San Lynn, who's a parent of, I think, what Levi Lim is in, and what's his brother's name? Carter and Levi Lim down at the Pop Warner, who are two phenomenal young athletes. You're going to hear that name a lot in the coming years up at the high school. And so big shout out to Sam Lynn, who did the vocals on the new intro, outro. Thank you, Sam, for that.
Hey, Manny, Gil's from the East Bay, so he's used to that rap stuff. So he can get down.
80s rap.
Yeah, 80s East Bay stuff.
90s. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Guys, we just got done. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. We got done navigating through the holiday season. And, during the holidays, I don't know about you guys, one of my favorite things to do during the Christmas time and the holidays is watch Christmas movies. There's just like so many of them, so many good ones. They only come out once a year, right? So it's like Christmas time comes, you watch Christmas movies. And when I was doing that, I started thinking, hey, what if we did an episode on just football movies? Movies that are just about football. We could talk about them, maybe rank them, categorize them, and then get our folks the top 5 football movies in our eyes. And I thought, hey, I think that'd be something that'd be fun to do. What do you guys say?
I wish Coach Clark was here to join us in this thing.
Well, are you Coach Clark? No. Sorry.
Oh.
We tried.
Yeah.
Hey, 100% he'll make the next one.
Let's go.
Hey, for his credit, I will give Coach Clark credit. He did return the text message.
Oh.
He didn't ghost me this time. He returned it.
2 weeks late.
So, as mentioned, we're going to go through some movies. I wrote down, just spitballing, 25 movies. And we're going to go over no particular order. They're not chronologically what came out first. They're not in alphabetical order. No particular order. It's just whatever popped into my mind, I'd write one down. My wife would come to the other room. What about that one? And she'd throw them out and I'd write it down. And so we're going to go over these, talk about them a little bit, maybe categorize them, and then move on. And then when we get done, we're going to start ranking these suckers and see, which one's what. So first one right off the bat. Remember the Titans? The year was 2000. Denzel Washington playing Coach Herman Boone. To me, great football movie. I have a personal story around it. And it's funny because we're about to head up this coming next week to the Martin Luther King holiday. And clearly this movie's about fighting racism and all that good stuff. And my story around Remember the Titans as a movie was... at the Martin Luther King holiday, the real, actual Coach Herman Boone was giving a speech at Modesto Junior College. So I took Kayla, my daughter, who was in high school at the time, said, hey, let's go watch this speech. So she agreed, came. She probably, after the fact, after what I did to her, was wish I wouldn't have done that. But we went, watched the speech. He gave a great speech, told a lot of great stories about the movie, some of the stuff that was right on the money, some of the stuff that was a little bit, embellished, all that good stuff. But when we went to go meet him and shake his hand and talk to him, Kelly goes, my dad's a high school coach. And so Coach Herman Boone started calling me coach. After I said, hey, coach. And I went, Coach Herman Boone's calling me coach.
Let's go.
I think I could just die right now. I'm good to go, right? But one of the things he had mentioned was the pressure, because he knew that nobody wanted him there in that spot, right? Because of the racism and everything was on. He knew everybody hated his guts. They wanted him out.
You mean half of the student body?
Well, okay. Well, there was a group of people that wanted him out, and he knew each week in, week out. Not only did he have to win, but he had to win big. He had to dominate to make it clear, like, I'm not going anywhere. Right?
Yep.
You imagine the pressure of, I mean, we've all game planned. We've all sat there in meetings and broke down film and do all that. You imagine the pressure of, we have to win in order to just keep your job.
Yeah, 60s football too. You know, the just turmoil that was going on back in those days too.
Yeah, so to me, great football movie around football. There's some great scenes in the movie. There's some great football scenes and hits and some great actors. I think Ryan Gosling was playing safety for the football team there, and so there's a lot of actors in there. The comments around remember the Titans.
I can't believe it was 2000.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem that old.
We were talking
25 years ago.
We were talking
right?
about that earlier. Yeah. That's that
Right.
came up on us quick.
Yeah, that was really quick. I remember seeing some internet memes that were like picture of Ryan Gosling, who's now a big movie star and heartthrob with the ladies, and this, but he was a detriment at safety with
He couldn't cover anybody back in the day.
And I think the little girl, the coach's kid, she says he's getting beat like he stole something.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, so hey, remember the Titans, Denzel Washington. Any other comments around that movie?
You know the dance sequence in the locker room. I've been in a lot of locker rooms, right? Ain't seen nobody dance like that. So
That's true.
It could be a little
embellishing maybe on that part.
little BS on that one, but who knows? You got to sell tickets. So.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
What about the football contact in that thing? Was it real? What'd you think?
I mean,
I feel like there's very few football movies where the contact looks like real contact.
I mean, you don't want it to, but I mean, the gist of the movie though really is about racism, right? Overcoming, racism and all of that stuff, and then if there's any sport that can probably accomplish that, it's going to be a sport like football, where we don't care where you're from, you're one of us. You're my brother now.
What was it? What was the quarterback's name? Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yeah. All right.
The hippie kid from California.
Yeah. There you go.
I thought you were going to say Rev.
Spicoli.
There's
The Rev. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Rudy, 1993. Sean Astin.
Shout out Pat Grady.
Rudy.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Rudy.
No.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's one of the go-tos,
To me, it's just like, it's inspirational, right? It's funny. I just mentioned that. We're going to have to back up real quick with Remember the Titans. I had wrote down some subcategories because not all football movies are created the same, right? Some are drama, some are comedies, all that good stuff. So I have down here subcategories: inspirational, drama, comedy, irreverent, which is, they only show it at 2 a.m, right? That kind of stuff.
Okay.
family,
that kind of stuff, right? So maybe we can kind of classify them. Remember the Titans. Where is that?
Remember the Titans. Golly, that's kind of a
inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be number one. It's kind of all of the above.
Yeah.
Probably why it's such a good movie.
Yeah, I agree. And then Rudy's got to be inspirational. I mean,
right.
What the janitor say? You're 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
you'll never amount to nothing.
And he wants to go play with the greatest football team in the land.
Yeah.
The Notre Dame. And apropos, what's national championship coming up?
Go. Yeah. Shout out Pat Grady again.
Inspirational. Any other comments around that movie, Rudy? I mean, his own family didn't believe in him. His own family was like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah. The best part of that movie was the practice scenes, because it appeared to be real football practice. You could see the coaches were really talking football. I don't know. Maybe I was into it more than I should have been.
No, I mean, I love the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to JC first, trying to get the grades. I mean, he did everything he had to do. Just tell me what to do. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so, like, that to me is, overcoming adversity, sticking to something, when the whole world's against you and saying, what's wrong with you? I mean, you don't care. You're going to keep going. And then it finally comes to fruition at the end there.
You go into the grotto just to stay warm because the candles are in there, something else, whatever.
So Rudy, I mean, great football movie. I mean, if I see it on TV, I'm probably not turning the channel.
Yeah, it's a good point because you see it every now and then, and you're flipping through the channels, and I kind of stay on that one too.
So
it's a good point.
My first statement was it was a go-to, right? So back in my era, in Gil's era, we're a little bit older than Manny. We used to have VCRs back in the day, and when the cable went out, we could just slap a VCR tape in, and Rudy was always a go-to, man. You just slap Rudy in, and killed 2 hours, and
all the streaming kids are like, "What is that?"
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we agree that's inspirational. Same as Remember Times. North Dallas 40. We're gonna have to help Manny out on this one, Coach.
You guys are on your own here.
So this one was 1979, and it was Nick Nolte was the actor. Nick Nolte was the tight end. Mac Davis was the quarterback. Was a kind of a country singer kind of guy, actor. And they played football for the Dallas Cowboys in the 1970s. And then with that comes all the stuff as pro football players in the 70s.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That was hey, brother, that was one of the best, man. They were shooting dudes in the knees with whatever they were shooting them in back in the day, and
get out there, we need you.
Right?
And
drinking beer in the ice tub.
Guys are wondering about their contracts.
Right.
They're going to cut me. And all that good stuff.
And all the ladies that come with that football thing. Let's go.
So where would North Dallas 40 fall into?
That was in what 79?
1979.
Look, bro, I was a freshman in high school in 1979. That was a big movie for me.
Yeah. So would it be a comedy, a drama, where would you rank it in category wise?
It wasn't a football movie, but it was.
It was centered around the game of football. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys
in the locker room. Yeah. I don't know. It definitely wasn't inspirational.
No,
we got a lot. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, I mean, because of the drug, sex, and rock and roll, maybe irreverent,
little drama. I don't even know what irreverent means. I can't even say it.
It's like you don't care about nothing or offending anybody.
Let's go. Put it in there.
All right, irreverent.
That's definitely one. This is before it was legal to show side boob.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Side boob was a thing, man, when HBO came out. So let's go.
Was that when the cable box had A and B?
Yes. Yeah.
You had two sides. Flip it to B.
You get the side boob.
All right, let's move on. Brian's song. I know they redid a new one, but I'm going to the original here. 1971, James Caan and Brian's song. He played Piccolo, the running back for the Chicago Bears. Yep. And his buddy that he befriended him was Gale Sayers, who everyone knows is one of the best running backs ever in the NFL.
The Kansas Comet.
And Piccolo gets cancer. Yep. He gets sick. Yep. He's befriended with Gale Sayers, a black man. Yep. Piccolo, a white man.
They were roommates.
They were
together.
roommates.
Yeah. So Paul, what's his name? Paul Brown was the head coach at the time, and he was trying to make a change. It was that time. Martin Luther King, whatever, in the 60s. And he chose to bunk black and white guys together. And this is the story of it. And it's kind of a...
And they became really, really good friends. And then... Yeah.
Well, so, one was a fullback. Piccolo was a fullback, and the other, and Gale Sayers was the
halfback, right?
Which they called him back in the day.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm probably not going to spoil it for anyone since it's been out since 1971. Yeah. But Piccolo does, finally succumb to his cancer, and Gale Sayers does his eulogy, and it's one of those ones, like Old Yeller. If you didn't cry at the end of Old Yeller, check your pulse. If you don't cry at the end of Brian's song, check your pulse. Right, something's going on there.
Do I save my story for the?
No. Okay. Let's.
All right, so I've got a great story. So I was in first or second grade back in the day, and I was just getting introduced to black and white football. black and white TV football. It wasn't. It wasn't. You know, there was no
Panavision, all in color.
Well, there was no racism in San Andreas either. You know, so so we it was around Christmas time, and we just got this dog. Somebody dropped a dog off at our door, and this dog was unruly, right? And we're playing with the dog and blah blah blah, and I was standing there watching right at the end of the Brian Song movie. As a first, second grade kid, you're not standing there in pajamas. You're in there in your tighty whities, right? And no t-shirt on, and I'm standing there watching the movie, and I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my hand, and this dog's just jumping up and down, and right at the end of the movie, the dog jumped up and he bit me in a place that probably shouldn't have been exposed. It was down around the old Mendoza line, right? And I was like crying, and my stepdad's like, "What are you crying for? You're being a baby. It's not that bad of a movie." And Brian,
so he thought you were crying because of the movie.
Yeah, Brian Piccolo's dying in the bed, and the dog bit me right in the nuts. And Jesus Christ,
you're crying because you're in pain.
Yeah, he's oh goddamn, you're crying. What a baby! And I'll never forget that story. It's bar none.
That's hilarious.
Bar none. First football movie I ever saw.
He would have been happier if you were crying just because you got bit in the groin.
Yeah, well, I was crying either way, whether he's happy or not. So, yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, let's move on. The next movie, there's actually two of them. We'll discuss them both together since they're the same movie. The Longest Yard. So you have the original version, Burt Reynolds, back in 1974. And then Adam Sandler redid the movie in 2005. Who, by the way, Burt Reynolds had a cameo in that movie. I don't even know if it was a cameo. He was in it. Yeah. But so you got The Longest Yard, the original, the Adam Sandler. I will say the difference to me is the original, and I'm not sure, man, if you've seen the original. The original was more of a drama. Yeah. It was more serious, right? Like when he got locked up for wrecking his woman's car.
It had a
there
plot.
was nothing funny about it. It was a drama movie where clearly Adam Sandler is a clear comedic film. So as far as categorizing the original drama, the Adam Sandler comedy.
No, 100% comedy.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that movie.
Well, the difference between the music, Gil couldn't have rapped in the first one. He can rap in the second one.
Alrighty. What have you?
I don't know
seen the second one?
I don't know that I've ever seen the first one. You say Burt Reynolds, I think the Trans Am. That's just what I think when you say Burt Reynolds.
Smokey.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit.
It was a good one. It was a good one, man. They had some old professional football players in that movie. Like I can't think of the.
Green Bay Packers. Ed Too Tall Jones was in that movie, right?
One of the Green Bay Packer guys. I can't remember his name. Oh my goodness.
Not sure.
Oh,
I feel like
so essentially, the plot of the movie is Burt Reynolds in the original one is a star quarterback in the NFL who has been disgraced because he got caught shaving points and he gave up his team and he shaved points.
So we're still in line with the 2005.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And he gets sent to prison. And then now he's got to deal with, the prison aspect of everybody's looking at him like, that's un-American, doing the points, all that. Right. Then he ends up playing for the prison team. It's a lot of similarities as far as the main plot, a lot of differences as far as how they present the story, as far as all the comedy portions.
Yeah, and the prison guards want him to shave points for this one to lose the game. And
so the plots are the same.
Plot's the same.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
absolutely.
Just different and stuff. And then obviously Adam Sandler is going to add a whole bunch of comedy element to it. And
that was funny.
I mean, one can even argue, depending on the kind of movies you like, the later one was really funny and probably even better than the original. I like the original. There's a scene in there where they got him doing hard labor, right? So they're like, shoveling mud out of a hole and they're doing all this stuff. And two guys end up fighting. And finally Burt Reynolds throws his shovel away, sits down and looks at all the guards holding shotguns, and he goes, "I quit." And then all the prisoners just start that's a choice, right? Yeah. They all just start laughing. Yeah. Even the sheriffs start laughing like, "You idiot! You can't quit."
Yeah, the guy on the horse with the baton.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So The Longest Yard, the old one being the drama, the new one being more of a comedy. Any other comments on that one before we move on?
And in the newest one, they had a lot of actors and football players. They Michael Irvin, right?
Yeah, a lot of guest appearances
a
there.
lot of WWE people,
Wrestler
were in there.
guys.
Yeah. I think Stone Cold was in there. And
They even since Coach Anderson won't get off my back, they even had a little rapper in there that played the running back.
Nelly. Yeah, Nelly in there.
A little bit of
Yeah, Chris Rock. Was in
Yeah.
there.
Michael Irvin,
Yeah.
the receiver from the Cowboys. So they had quite a few.
Bob Sapp. Right? The fighter, the big dude. He was in there.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I think it's Bob Sapp.
I don't.
Sure.
I have no idea.
All right.
Had a lot
So
So we were talking earlier about this, down in the kitchen, and a lot of these movies I started and never finished back in the day in the 2000s. I was, a little tired about halfway through.
so you were like, reading cliff notes on football movies. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I might perk up for one or two around here, but
All right, let's move on from the longest yard. Let's talk about Varsity Blues, 1999.
Great movie.
John Voight, he's a head football coach, probably the head football coach who reports to Lucifer himself, right? Kilmer.
yeah.
Who I don't know if I were like trying to teach someone how to be a head coach. I don't know if I'd use him as a model.
Yeah. Well, he got it done.
Well, I
he,
guess so.
He
right?
had a statue out
He had a
front.
statue.
Yeah.
Little over the top.
So did Paterno.
Yeah, right. Oh, boom, boom, boom. So I think it embodies Texas football in terms of probably the 70s, 60s, and 70s. I wasn't there, but that's what I think when I think Texas football. Those head coaches are like the mayor of the town,
my way or the highway.
Yeah, the mayor of the town, and
the tyrants.
Yeah. If he wants to park in front of a grocery store, people get the guy out of the store and move the car so he can park in front.
Well, first of all, I'd classify it as irreverent because today there's no way they're going to put this movie on primetime, right?
I know.
They got players stealing sheriff cars. They got the half the team over at a strip club at 2 a.m. and
2, they walk out at 5.
Yeah, in the morning. Find out one of their teachers actually works there at night and twilights as Miss So and So. What'd you think? 10.
Yeah.
That's one of the best, though. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I'm just going off of memory on some of these things.
So Varsity Blues, the main quarterback gets hurt. The backup guy was a nobody, becomes the guy.
Yeah. Mox comes in.
Yeah, then he
Mox.
becomes the guy, and then all of a sudden he's a superstar now because he's the guy now. And I think that's one of the famous scenes in really cinema, let alone a football movie, is when the girl comes out and it's a bikini, but it's a bikini made of just whipped cream. Right?
I remember that.
Yep, he got called out. He got called out in the movie for seeing the whipped cream bikini.
Whipped cream bikini.
Yeah.
That was Varsity Blues.
Wow.
So, all right. So,
how times have changed.
Yeah, 1999, John Voight and Varsity Blues. Sticking to irreverent, I still think this one's irreverent. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. Any Given Sunday, same year, 1999. Al Pacino was the head coach in a pro football franchise.
Little sex, drugs, and rock and roll in that one as well.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased. I'm not a big Oliver Stone fan. He's the director of the film. Oliver Stone to me is the type of director that grabs anything that's negative about a topic, and it could be 10% of it.
Yeah,
he'll ignore the 90, grab the 10, make that 10 the 90% of his movie, and then make a movie on that.
So I made some notes on this one because I remember this one. It's a pure classic. Great coach's speeches, man. Al Pacino had some awesome speeches.
Good point. He does have a locker room speech in there.
Yeah, and he was on an island, man. He people didn't want him around, at that point, and he was just trying to just grind this team together and make it work. Another one of those. It's got everything.
Jamie Foxx, Willie Beamer.
Yeah. It had some of
Beaming.
It had some of the gymnastics hits, the guys flipping over and nobody survives 3 flips and hits the sidelines and still gets first down. But it's hard hitting, strippers, cocaine.
And Dennis Quaid, right? He was the quarterback.
He was.
He was.
He was. Cameron Diaz was like the ownership management.
Yeah.
Lady problems. It encompassed everything.
All right.
Kind of like my life.
Lady problems. All right.
Let's back up.
Any other comments on Any Given Sunday?
But
I heard a long time because LL Cool J is in the movie,
right.
and Jamie Foxx is in the movie.
LT,
And I heard that like they had LT's in the movie, and I heard they had beef. LL and Jamie Foxx in that movie.
Oh, really?
Like they had to separate them when they were filming. So I don't know.
it's probably a good.
Maybe they should have let the camera kept rolling on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
they let it roll on everything else.
Hey, LL looks like a football player.
Yeah,
He
looks
does.
like he can play football.
He does.
probably a good thing Diddy wasn't in that one.
Oh God. All right, moving on. And it looks like I don't know what it was with the '90s in these irreverent movies, but 1993, James Caan, The Program.
That's my jam right there.
Yeah,
That
Great
right
movie.
there. I was 13 years old. Looks like when it came out in '93. I mean, just loving football.
What do we categorize that?
Probably shouldn't have watched it when I was 13.
Right, right. Take the shot. Take the shot. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Latimer
Latimer.
Yeah.
gets his starting defense, starts putting his head through windows. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
He's got the girl in the hot tub. Let her up, Latimer. Let her breathe.
Jesus.
So where do we categorize that one at?
It's definitely not a comedy.
Is that still irreverent? Is that it comes on late at night?
That irreverent
You know,
word kills me.
yeah. I mean, it's not, I don't know. It's not too crazy, but there's no,
I mean, it's probably not going to play at 7 p.m. on The Wonderful World of Disney.
no, I've never seen it on TV.
So I gauge my football movies on like actual like football hits, and football on the field. Some of that was kind of a classic in terms of those too.
Yeah.
There was some good. Whoever the stuntman was for the quarterback, he got smoked, man. Like,
Okay, I like the segue here. Next movie, Friday Night Lights,
oh man,
2004, Billy Bob Thornton.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
yeah.
That's a good movie.
I'm telling you, it's.
Now,
one
what
of
is
the
that?
best.
Is that drama? To me, it's almost drama.
It depends on who you are in that thing.
Yeah, right.
What a coach though, man.
Yeah,
I loved him as a coach too.
Well, and then a lot of people may not know this, but it was a book prior to the movie.
Yeah.
But that scene where
Perryman and
he gets back home after his first game, and there's all these for sale signs on his front yard. Ouch!
still happens now, man.
Ouch.
Texas football is Texas football. Boy.
That is no kidding around. And he gets done. He's got to walk into that barber shop and explain to all the guys, chewing the fat in there. Oh, here's what's going on. Here's what we got to do. And that's not an option. They expect the coach to walk in there and you better explain what's going on.
That's bar none. On my list of them, that's number 2 on my list.
About Tim McGraw teaching his son how to hold on to the football.
right?
Man.
Yeah.
I think it included a roll of duct tape.
Right.
You want to win? Put Booby in.
And again, some questionable antics by the trainers.
or when the quarterback calls Booby out, hey, you didn't work out. This is God given.
God.
That's right.
Oh man. So I mean, great entertaining movie.
Yeah.
I'm not even so sure what the moral of the story is, other than it's a snapshot of a season of a Texas high school football team in the late 80s.
Off of the book.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe embellished a little bit, but
Well, and I'd like
Great
to know too on some of these movies how much of them are based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I
know Friday Night Lights was based on a true story.
that's what I thought,
Right.
but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely Friday. Remember the Titans was based on a true story. Friday Night Lights was based on a true story. Rudy was based on a true. A lot of the best ones were based on true stories.
Right. And yeah.
I mean, that's a good question though. All right, so moving on. Little Giants, 1994.
probably not a true story.
Probably not a true story, but Ed O'Neill,
Hey,
Al
Bundy, Al Bundy.
yeah.
You see this ball? This is your soul on a roll.
Yeah.
Not many movies out about Pop Warner football.
No.
Little Giants. It was on Pop Warner football.
What was that one that just came out? I mean, I say just came out. It's been a few years. Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
Man, he came out. You know when he got suspended.
Yeah, and
that
he
year.
he coached his kids' team.
Yeah.
Right,
And
yeah.
I don't know how real that is.
Right.
But yeah, he coached his kids.
And I think I don't have that one on here. And then I think there was one where Ice Cube was the coach for like a underprivileged little Pop Warner team where there was a girl on the team too or something like that. I don't remember the name of that one, but I remember there was something out there with that one.
Yeah. Little Giants.
It was funny.
Wah, wah, wah.
It was funny. There's a lot of lines I remember. Right? What do you call that play? You know, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
That's one of the ones, Zeke was, my oldest son was 4 years old. I put it on a VCR,
Right.
clunked it in.
Right.
I went to sleep.
That, and then I like when Rick Moranis is coaching all of the scrubs, the kids that nobody wants,
Yeah.
and nobody can catch the ball. So then he goes and grabs the roll of toilet paper, and everybody's catching it. So he gives the football back to the kid and go, "Here, go put that in the bathroom. We're going to play with this from now on." He starts playing with the roll of toilet paper.
That's funny. I do not remember that.
All right, Little Giants. All right, I'm thinking that's what, comedy or family movie. Call it family movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to help out Coach Mossa with this one, Scott. Heaven Can Wait.
Man.
1978. Warren Beatty. Now, folks, if you don't know Warren Beatty, like in the 60s and 70s, was like one of the biggest actors in the world. Heartthrob.
Yeah.
Like demanded the highest paycheck for any movie he was in. He was just like an incredible actor, top tier A-list actor. And he played in this movie, Heaven Can Wait, where he was the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams.
He kind of reminds me of Jim Geedy, as beautiful as he is.
I'm going to have to tell Jim that one. That's going to be good. Or you know what? He's going to listen. He listens.
I know.
So, okay, Jim Geedy and the Heaven Can Wait. And I'm sure he knows that movie.
Yeah.
But the plot. So, Warren Beatty, quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams, unfortunately, passes away.
Yeah.
Gets to the pearly gates, and they go, "Oops, we made a mistake. We didn't mean to grab you so soon. We're going to send you back." Problem was they got rid of the body already, so they have to send him back as somebody else. He has to go in as somebody else. Then that somebody else has to go walk on with the Los Angeles Rams and convince them that he's going to take them to the Super Bowl.
They've got some classic old actors in that thing too, man.
They do.
It was pretty cool. Another one that the old pro football players were in the background. Deacon Jones and all those guys were kind of in the weight room and running around in the background. Merlin Olsen was in it. Yeah.
Speaking of that, the Little Giants, John Madden was in that one with all those other guys too. What was that? A comedy, a drama? What was Heaven Can Wait?
Is there a D for dumb?
We'll call it comedy / drama.
Super sad.
I'm guessing that's not in your top 5, Coach.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The Blind Side, 2009. Sandra Bullock, Michael Orr. Everybody probably by now knows the story.
Yeah. Or they don't.
Adopted this young guy out of Memphis. Went to high school, ends up in going to Ole Miss, and then ends up with the Baltimore Ravens, getting drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, and big success story. And then later it came out that he was like, there was kind of a lot of embellishment going on there, and it's hard to say, like, was it, or is he just kind of like remorseful, or what's going on,
or didn't save his money.
I feel like they probably they have to. It's TV.
You got to entertain
it's
people.
Television,
Right?
Yeah.
So The Blind Side, it was in 2009. Any other comments around there? What would we call that? That inspirational comedy, drama?
If we're talking about in
Family.
2025,
Inspirational?
2025 tragedy.
Okay.
I don't know. I honestly, I didn't watch it.
You never saw The Blind Side?
Nope, not once.
I'll do this once again as I did with Friday Night Lights because I also read the book. It was a book before it was a movie.
Yeah.
Because it is based on a true story.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, left tackles prior to Lawrence Taylor breaking the leg of Joe Theismann on a national televised football game, left tackles were not even on the radar. They made standard money just like anybody else on the O-line.
Well, I remember him on the Ravens and playing and heard the story about it, but I never watched the movie.
So after Joe Theismann goes down, owners started realizing we put millions of dollars into this quarterback, and the one person that can ruin it all is that blindside hit, which our left tackle needs to get. So they started after that. The highest paid player on the team, quarterback. Second highest paid player, left tackle.
Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So I mean that story as it happened changed the way who got paid what in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next movie. We Are Marshall, 2006. Matthew McConaughey. All right.
That's a tearjerker right there, man.
It is. I'd say inspirational for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a true story. You said a minute ago, embellishment. I mean, I don't know. I felt like they just played the parts really well. All the actors. I don't know. That's a great football
that's a long road to come back from when your entire team is wiped out in a plane crash. And then your next, you don't have football in order to come back. You got nothing but freshmen. You get new coaches because all the coaches passed away in the playing with the team.
New head coach.
Which Matthew McConaughey plays the part of the new head coach. One of my favorite scenes in that movie is he hires his staff, he gets his assistants. One of them was a coach from the prior staff. For some reason or not, couldn't go on that trip and was saved. Gets his other staff, and they're like, well, what are we going to run? What's our off and what are we? We don't know. So he goes to an opposing school, like Virginia Tech something, walks in there, asks to see the coach, asks to see film. And of course, they're like, the sack on this guy to come in here and just let me see all your stuff. And the coach goes, come on, and takes him into that back room and says,
it's all yours.
It's all yours.
Yep. Carte
blanche, have anything you want.
Yeah.
And he says, the fact that you guys are even trying, he goes, just take what you want.
Yeah.
And that was like big.
What a testament for the university, too. They could have just packed it up and had water polo forever.
And Marshall's in Texas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they make them tough out there.
Yeah.
So, We Are Marshall. Inspirational. Matthew McConaughey. Darn good movie. Any other comments on that one? All right. So, to me, I think this is inspirational too. Invincible. 2006. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Mark Wahlberg. I got to throw it. Now you got me on this rapping thing, Coach.
Hey, you started it. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I love the bar scenes, where he's just kind of hanging out with the boys and they're playing catch in the rain, and what a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that haven't seen it, Mark Wahlberg plays basically a normal guy in Philadelphia, normal worker. I don't know if he's a construction guy, plumber guy, part of the union, just trying to find work here and there, and tries out because at that year the Philadelphia Eagles were horrible. They go on television and they ask for an open tryout from anybody. Doesn't matter if you're off the street, doesn't matter. And so he goes and actually makes the team.
Dick Vermeil
was the first year head coach. So pretty exciting, fun story to see like some guy off the street make an NFL roster, right?
Vince Papale, right?
Yes.
Let's go, man.
Yes, nice job.
And I think his kid played a couple of years ago too. His son. Yeah.
Very nice.
He made the roster, but I don't think he was, that guy.
How can you, if you're just a football guy, you just want like to play football. How do you not like that one?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
And he meets up with his buddies. They play a little,
street ball.
Little street ball out there.
The car lights are on and everything. I mean, if you haven't done that,
then
you're not truly a football guy.
Right. Yeah, I agree. All right, so Invincible, Mark Wahlberg. Any other comments? Definitely inspirational.
Yeah, for sure.
Overcoming adversity, overcoming the odds, right? Chasing your dreams. All right, so in next movie, The Waterboy, 1998, Adam Sandler. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue. Definitely a comedy, right?
Yep.
You know, how can you not? Yeah, you can try to not like The Waterboy, man. I just don't see how you can not like it.
To me, the movie's just hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's about football. It's silly to like the second power, but that's what makes it kind of funny, right? And
It's so crazy over the top.
just all the different, that down home Southern Louisiana, Mama said alligators are ornery on account of all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Jesus.
So Waterboy, it's funny, and then harnesses that energy, focus, go kill your opponent.
Right. Yeah, we've had a couple of players back in the day that kind of look like some of those boys.
What are you saying, Coach?
The guy in the overalls, I don't know. I'm not mentioning any names.
You're saying that maybe kids from West Point go to the Mississippi Mud Dogs?
Mississippi Mud Dogs.
The Mississippi Mud Dogs.
It might just be Jenny Lind. I don't know.
That's some high quality H2O.
Yeah, there's some river down there.
All right, next one. The Express. A lot of people don't know this one. 2008, Dennis Quaid. After Jim Brown left college, they needed another running back.
Great movie.
And they got, what's his name? Do you remember his name?
Oh, gosh. Ernie Davis.
Ernie Davis.
Yeah.
And so he comes over, I think is it Virginia? No.
Syracuse.
Syracuse. Syracuse Orangeman takes over there and through the advice of Jim Brown, who goes to the Cleveland Browns at the time. So to me, that's drama. I mean, there really wasn't nothing funny about it.
Yeah. Based
on a true story. So they're just kind of repeating what had happened.
He ended up winning the Heisman, had a leukemia or some type of cancer. And he made the pros. I think he was with the Redskins or something. And ended up dying like his rookie year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tragedy. Yeah. He was a bad dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So next one. A lot of people, I think this is like probably of all 25 listed on this list is probably one of the most underrated, not just football movies, but movies in general. And if you haven't seen this one, go watch this one. It's called Draft Day. 2014. Kevin Costner plays the general manager of the Cleveland Browns. And the entire movie is based on one day, and that's the day that they're holding the draft, and what goes on of where they're going to pick, who they're going to pick. The coaches want this, the team wants that, the fans want this. Yeah. There's phone calls and all this stuff.
The radio guys want that.
There's all this communication going back and forth. I mean, it's a great movie.
What a meat grinder.
And then at the end of it, there's a twist, right? There's like a good movie should have. They lead you all the way down this road, and all of a sudden, what?
Yeah.
And so there's a good twist at the end of it. So overall, great movie.
Yeah.
Great football movie. Comments around Draft Day.
Love Draft Day, man. That's I feel like it takes you, like you said, it was one day, a whole movie on one day. Takes you behind the scenes, and does that really happen? Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. Does that kind of stuff really happen? Is it that crazy? It seemed a little wild, a little crazy, but I love that movie. I think it's cool, man.
The owner's already got a jersey of the guy he wants, but he's like, hey, don't slow down. We're not there yet.
Coach is pissed at the general manager not picking the guys he wants to pick. Just a big fight. The general manager, getting ready to lose his shit, and some of the other coaches. I just think it's just a great movie.
Would we call that a drama? I'd say so.
Ended up that way.
Yeah. All right. Next one, not a big fan. I thought this one was one of those glorifying, sensationalistic. Let's grab 5% of what happens and make it 100% of our movie.
Yeah.
Concussion, Will Smith in 2015.
Not a fan.
Seen it, couldn't tell you a lot about it.
Nope.
I just don't.
I seen it once because I had to objectively be able to say, I thought it was neat that at least the physician and the doctor was from Lodi and it was from a local area. I thought that was interesting. Other than that, I think at the end of this one, someone should have slapped Will Smith for doing this movie.
Well, you would have thought somebody, the doctor had come from Stanford, not Lodi. Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on there?
All right, let's move on. Here's another great one. I mean, to me, when you can get your date, your wife, your girlfriend, and come hang out with you for 2 hours to watch a football movie, it's going to be Jerry Maguire, right? 1996, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, they had plugged it as the best date movie ever, right? The guy and the girl are both going to love the movie.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. playing that part, man. I mean,
Show me the money.
man.
I could have done without the worm.
The worm.
Do you remember he's on the field doing the
Oh,
worm?
yes.
Could have done without that, but other than that, that was a cool movie.
When we say that's a comedy drama, I mean, kind of in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of got it all, I guess.
It does, and I think that's why it was a great date movie, right?
Yeah.
There's a love story in there. There's football in there. There's
A little bit of football, more. Yeah,
I mean, think of the actors too, like Tom Cruise. Like he doesn't play in a bad movie, right? He's always in.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's based off a true story,
Right.
So I think it's on Lee Steinberg, the famous agent.
really?
Yeah. There's a famous agent out there that kind of got to that point where that I'm sick of this corporate. I need to have connections with my clients.
And he's still rocking.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. So yeah, I mean, pretty darn good movie. You ask me. Football. I mean, like I said, you try to get your wife to go sit down and watch Any Given Sunday with you, and she's not going to sit there like she would with Jerry
Not for
Maguire.
very long.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Kate watches every Inside the NFL, every behind the scenes. She's a football junkie, whether she likes it or not.
So because you hide the remote.
Right.
Okay, so next one. And we'll have to fill in Manny here. Wildcats, 1986. Goldie Hawn plays taking over the head football coaching job at a underprivileged ghetto area high school.
Yeah. What of
Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson are on the football team.
before it's time,
They're giving her a hard time because here's this, this
And Goldie Hawn was smoking hot back in those days too.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
yeah.
let's go.
And her daughter Kate Hudson, big famous actress now.
Yeah.
So she played in that movie, and back in the 80s, Goldie Hawn was a famous actress. She played in a lot of different movies. Overboard, Private Benjamin, a whole lot of different types of movies she played in. And on this one, she played a head coach of a football team, and kind of a comedy, cute, funny thing. Yeah,
Not a lot of football.
well, yeah. Well, they finally had to go get that guy that was like, that was robbing houses. That was the fastest guy in the city.
They had to get that kid.
They had to get that kid, and he was.
Sounds like a Catholic school to me.
All right, sticking to the 80s here, 1983, Tom Cruise, All the Right Moves.
Bro.
Tom Cruise is a high school football player. His coach, Craig T. Nelson, the coach of all coaches. And he's trying to get to what school? Cal Poly.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to Cal Poly to go play at Cal Poly.
Yeah,
And
he's a Pennsylvania Irontown
yes,
football guy.
small town, nothing to do but football
and work.
Yes.
And he had a decision. They had the landscape of the 1983. Jesus Christ, boys! I was a senior in high school, so I watched this thing if I could have watched it 15 times, I would have. Great football hits, super bitchin' neck rolls,
Neck rolls.
Yeah.
There was some great neck rolls in that movie.
Neck rolls. Good football story.
Yep.
Yeah, he got hurt. Things happen.
Okay. Fairly new one. I think it was just Netflix. Greater in 2016. About the true story of Brandon Burlsworth, who wasn't much in high school, wasn't much, got to college. Didn't seem like he was much in college, and next thing you know, he's getting drafted by the Indianapolis Colts and had an NFL career. Tragically died in a car accident.
Arkansas football guy, yeah.
I mean,
he's got like a major award for him for inspirational football player in the college ranks. So it's like a
so
big deal.
definitely inspirational movie.
Yeah.
Good football movie.
Yeah.
2006 Gridiron Gang.
That's a good one.
The Rock.
Exhibit.
Exhibit was his assistant coach. You're right.
Would he build a car too, or what?
No, he doesn't build cars. He pips your ride.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one.
So,
Based on a true story?
based on a true story.
Right?
So, underprivileged kids get them together in a football, rival gangs, playing together, all that good stuff. And, who better than to whoop them into shape than The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's like they're in a, what would you call it? It's not juvie. It's like
I thought it
before
was
you
like-
get to juvie,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like a group home.
Yeah. They didn't have a team. They didn't have a league. They did nothing. But
He started it. He got it going. Yeah. Good movie. I
like that
watched
movie.
it. It was a good movie. The Replacements, 2000. Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman is the head coach.
I can't believe this thing's 25 years old.
The place kicker smoking a cig right before he's about to kick the field goal.
The Euro. What was his name? Oh gosh,
I forget his name. All I know remember is Hackman going, he's wiry. He's wiry.
Right. That was pretty good football, actually.
I like that movie.
That was a good movie. What did Keanu Reeves, what was the quarterback's name? You remember it?
Oh my goodness, I know it too.
Keanu Reeves, The Replacement. What was his name in that movie? What was his character name? It has to be something good, it has to sound like a quarterback name.
Johnny Utah is another movie.
Johnny Utah was
Shane Falco.
Shane Falco.
Yes.
That's a great quarterback name.
Good pull.
Funny, man.
Wasn't Johnny Utah from Keanu Reeves when he played the one where he jumps out of the planes all the time?
That was like Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
yeah.
his character name in that one?
Johnny Utah, yeah.
Johnny Utah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a quarterback.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, those are the 25 movies that I had written down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create what we believe is the top 5 and see if we can come to a consensus.
So before we do that,
Sure.
best year for football movies. 2006, We Are Marshall, Invincible, Gridiron Gang.
Look at you.
All in 2006.
That's pretty good.
That's a good year for
That's a
football
good year
movies,
for football
man.
movies. I like where you're going with it. You're seeing some correlation, some connection, connect the dots. I saw a few things. For instance, Tom Cruise were in a couple of these movies, right? All the Right Moves, Jerry Maguire, James Caan. He was the coach in the program.
Yeah.
He was in Brian's song.
Yeah.
So you got some actors that probably are football fans themselves that are playing in multiple football movies. I saw a little bit of that kind of connecting too, is like the, things that are connecting. But I like that 2006, a lot of good year. You know what I noticed in the 90s, 99, 93, we had a lot of the crazy football movies, the partying movies,
Yeah.
Steal the Sheriff car. So what was going on in that time? You know what I think it was my dad in 1999 came to me and he brought me 5 cases of water and flares and everybody thought that in 2000 the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
And we're gonna all
Y2K.
we're gonna need emergency kits and we're gonna need all this stuff. So maybe everybody was like, screw it, should we put that in the movie? Put it in. We're all not gonna be here anyways, right?
Nobody cares. That's funny. That's funny.
That's pretty good observation there, Coach Mo. So the 2006, that was a pretty good year for the footballs there. Any other comments before we want to break these down?
I'm good.
All right.
I feel like I got some movie watching ahead of me.
You do.
Yeah,
You do.
Some of these older ones, man. I feel like I need to watch those. If you're a head football coach of a high school football team, there shouldn't be a football movie you haven't seen,
Man.
right?
There are some.
I feel like I'm slacking.
That's tough to do. There's a lot of them out there. It's tough to do.
Well, you know what? You should go home and pull them up and let Ethan do his top 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
You know, sit there and nice cold rainy day, soup, and football movies.
Soup.
All right. So how do you guys want to throw some stuff? I mean, we can whittle it down and say, look at weaker ones and go, this is definitely not in the top 5 and whittle it down. Or I have right now 6 of them written down that I think should be somewhere in the top 5.
In what category?
It doesn't matter. Just overall.
Well, I've got my top 10.
All right. So I've go ahead.
I do too.
All right.
Yeah.
So I've got Remember the Titans.
What number?
I don't have them numbered in. It should be in the list. It should be there.
Okay.
So I got Remember the Titans, Rudy, Draft Day, Friday Night Lights, Jerry Maguire, and Blindside, as it should be up there in the list.
Okay.
Okay.
Any of those you go, you're an idiot. None of those that doesn't belong up there.
I don't know.
Blindside.
Blindside. I wasn't a big fan on Blindside.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's the leave me 5.
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't watch it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I watched part of it.
Sandra Bullock looked great in that movie, by the way.
Yeah. Tramp.
Tim
She's
McGraw.
a tramp.
Tim McGraw. Another.
Yeah.
God.
He owned like 30 Taco Bells, man. Come on. Get yourself a Don't you like quesadillas?
Yeah. I hear you.
Okay. Like to me, North Dallas 40, I'm like crossing it off. It was fun.
Yeah.
The longest yards, they were fun, but I don't know if they're in their top 5. Brian's song, it's inspirational, but it's very slow.
Yeah.
It's
a grinder.
to me, Varsity Blues, Any Given Sunday, and the program, as entertaining as they are, if I'm not willing to, show my children or like sit down with a high school team and say, let's watch this together, it probably doesn't belong in the top 5.
Right.
Any disagreement?
I mean, look, sometimes you kids need to go to bed so you can watch what you want to watch. Okay?
Yeah.
Put the women and children to bed.
And go looking for dinner, which is why the program is my number 1.
Yeah.
Your number 1 is the program?
My number 1's a program, and I think because...
Okay, first of all, I total redo my idiot where I said, you're an idiot.
That's nostalgia, man. That's 13 years old, playing football. What was it? I was probably 8th grade, I guess,
Yeah.
And you see that movie. Yeah, I'm going to go put my window when I get a starting job. Hell yeah, Alvin Mack. Right? Who would not want to be Alvin Mack?
There are scenes in that movie where, like, probably would start the Me Too movement to go all over again.
Darnell Jefferson.
It's going to be all like...
he's pretty good, too.
It's going to be like edited now.
Okay.
You can't say the word.
So,
I'm not going to lie. I watched it like a year ago. It's not the same.
No.
I'm
You're different.
I'm older
You're different now.
It's not the same.
You're
As
different.
funny as it was.
I'm going to cross off Little Giants. I don't think that's in the top 5. Heaven Can Wait. I'm going to cross off.
No.
I think maybe we need to talk about We Are Marshall.
Man,
I got it in my top 5.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. Well, let's Coach Mossa, let's hear your top 5.
So I have Remember the Titans.
Okay.
The program, Friday Night Lights, We Are Marshall, and Draft Day.
Okay. I like them all except the program. Your top 5.
So I'm just going off of traumatic instances in terms of what happened to me on this first one. Brian's song. My first take on football. And,
does your groin hurt every time you say it?
I kind of wince a little bit.
Okay, so Brian's song.
Friday Night Lights is for none a classic. I had to put Brian's song up there just because of the story. Rudy, for my boy Pat Grady.
How do you not have Rudy in there, Coach Moses?
Look, I'm a Michigan fan, not a Notre Dame fan.
You don't have to be a Notre Dame
other
fan.
Team fan.
It's not a Notre Dame movie. It's a movie of overcoming obstacles.
Say what you want.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Say what you want, be who you are.
Continue.
What do we got? Rudy. Then I've got Invincible, man. I kind of like that. I'm kind of partial to the bar scenes.
Okay.
So.
Surprise.
Yeah, no doubt.
Invincible, and then your 5th one.
And Grader was something for me.
Yeah.
Just because he was an O-line guy, and you see what those guys go through up front, and it means a lot.
So, looking at what I have written down, what you guys gave me as your top 5, and I'm trying to see if there's anything that we all had on there.
Remember the Titans, right?
He doesn't have a Remember the Titans on
no.
his. But he's got Grader and Brian's song.
I know.
All right, no, that's all right. So, okay, we have 2 of us have Remember the Titans.
I feel
two of us have Rudy. 2 of us have Draft Day. Friday Night Lights. All 3 of us have Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're-
good call. That just had
That's a good
everything,
one.
man. It had everything.
Have you guys seen the series, the show?
No,
Pretty good too.
really?
Yeah,
Is
binge watch that one, man. It's got
Really?
like 6 or 7 seasons.
Oh, wow.
Jerry? Neither one of you had Jerry Maguire in there.
Nah,
I wasn't a big.
Okay.
nah. I mean, I think it's a good show, but it wouldn't be a top football movie, right?
We Are Marshall. We had 2 of us had We Are Marshall. You didn't know. So the only one we all agree on was Friday Night Lights.
So Marshall's in my top 11. Just saying.
I'd add one.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
Top 11.
Did your top 11? Did you bring to the prom?
Yeah. Had to.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? I mean, our folks want to hear what's the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Friday Night Lights have to be.
I think Friday Night Lights we have to go with 1 since we
Yeah.
all had it on our top 5. So
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Great football movie. Has everything. You have the town, church, football,
And
girls.
for you Billy Bob Thornton fans,
Yeah.
you have Paramount Plus. There's a new show out called Landman. That's a Taylor Sheridan who did Yellowstone,
Yeah.
and Billy Bob Thornton is the actor in that one and does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Great show.
Love that guy.
Plug for Billy Bob Thornton there.
Boom.
Okay, so
What do we have? 2? What?
2 of us had We Are Marshall.
And it's one of my top, like I said, 11. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so We Are needs to be in there.
Yeah.
2 of us had Draft Day.
You seen Draft Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wasn't into it, man. Yeah.
You have to kind of pay attention.
Yeah. Well,
No,
I could.
well,
I'm starting to see kind of.
You know who I am.
Starting to see what's going on here.
ADHD kicks in.
Jennifer Gardner, she's in there, right? I mean,
Remember the Titans. Neither one of you had Remember the Titans.
yeah, I remember the Titans. Yeah,
Yes, you did.
I don't.
Can we say Remember the Titans number 2? I mean, it took on racism.
how do you not?
All right, you good with that? Remember the Titans?
Yeah. Sure.
Sure.
Just the singing in the locker room just didn't fit my fancy. Just saying. The singing and dancing
Yeah, no.
ain't happening. There's no time to do that.
But I'll tell you what.
Not everybody
there's
had a
a-
Bluetooth speaker
there's
back
a-
in the 60s. You know?
Right.
There's always time for a rap.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
The question is, here's the question.
Mhm.
What would Dude pick for his favorite movie, football movie? Dude, what is your favorite football movie? What do you think it is?
Is there?
We got to call Dude. Put it on pause and call Dude.
That's a hard one to pin down right there.
I mean, it'd have to be with somebody that they maybe overcame losing his teeth down a bar. Freaking
Jesus.
I mean, I don't know. We're 3-way here. We got Friday Night Lights. Remember the Titans. 2 of us had Rudy. I think it's a travesty if Rudy's not in the top 5. We have to have Rudy in there.
Fair enough.
We already have Friday Night Lights, and so there's 2 more.
So I did not give Invincible, but I do like Invincible.
So you want to put Invincible?
That's up to you. Did you put?
I
it
did
in?
not have
No, you did
Invincible,
not
but I
either.
also do like it.
Oh, it's my number 4. I'm not lying. Yeah, number 4
All right, so we'll put Invincible.
because of the bar scenes. I told you that.
I'm not going to go with the program. I'm not going to go with the grader.
No, it's your show.
And
Any given Sunday, you guys have that? You just turned that off.
no,
I mean, I got We Are Marshall. Did you have We Are Marshall?
It's over here. It's over on your sidebar.
I think We Are Marshall should be.
Got to be up above Invincible and Rudy. I don't.
What is? I mean, Notre Dame's independent. They're not even in the same division as Michigan. He's like, all right,
Listen,
Hater.
You're a Cal Bear fan.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
all right. So,
and never will.
okay, I'm thinking. Let's look at this. I'm thinking number 5, Invincible. Number 4, We Are Marshall. Number 3, Rudy. Number 2, Remember the Titans. And number 1, Friday Night Lights.
So I had 2 of the top 5. Boom. Thank you very much.
So I think we got it, folks. Your top 5 football movies of all time, according to Coach Anderson, Coach Mossa, and Coach Val. Number 5, Invincible with Mark Wahlberg. Number 4, We Are Marshall. All right. Matthew McConaughey. Number 3, Rudy. Number 2, Remember the Titans. And number 1, Friday Night Lights. We did it. We came up with the top 5 football movies of all time. Coach, thanks so much. Coach Mossa, Coach Anderson, thank you for spending time to come out here and sit with me and do this. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you. It's good to get back at it.
Freaking love it, dude. This is you've got a setup here.
Season 2 of Let's Talk Football, Coach Val. I'm sure you guys are going to come back again as we dive into other topics. 2 episodes a month from here on out until football season gets started again in August, and at which point we're every week back to airing the games, back to going over all the good stuff of the Calaveras football universe.
I've got a quick question.
You bet.
Who do you got for the national title?
Not even going to watch it.
Well, I have to say this.
You can't say Ohio State.
No, not that other team. Notre Dame.
You're going to go Notre Dame?
No, I have to.
Look, I mean, they have God on their side.
They've had God on their side for a few years now, and it hasn't happened. So.
But there's a larger picture to the thing, right?
Well,
no, I mean, one, I like the fact that the 2 teams playing for the championships were not top 4, so that shows that we needed to expand the playoffs. So I like that. So, but I'm gonna root for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Ohio State's loaded, boys. Woo.
They are loaded.
Their quarterback's pretty darn good, sneaky good too.
It wasn't very good Thanksgiving weekend.
Well,
I can see Coach Mossa being a Michigan fan why he doesn't like Ohio State.
Yeah, who's still standing?
That other team.
Yeah,
we don't call.
See, I don't even. Name. Yeah, but I don't. I'm still trying to figure out the whole thing with Notre Dame. What's your beef with Notre Dame? You don't like gold?
It's like USC Notre Dame. They're not in the same league or anything, but they've battled for years.
Yeah. All right.
My heart's with Notre Dame, but I'm going to take Ohio State.
Ooh, gotta go.
Saying.
Gotta go. Let's get out of here.
They got to be a 14-point favorite. I haven't even seen the spread. It's gonna be quick. Yeah.
I'll say this: they're both on fire right now.
Yeah.
Coach Sam Arledge turned me on to that Underdog app where you throw some money in, you go higher or lower and a lot of stuff. So I'll probably be rooting for the guys that I have going that's on the app for 5 catches or how many yards.
Yeah, Freeman, the head coach, played
at Ohio State. Yeah, he's a linebacker.
As a linebacker, and he was a dude, man, straight dude. Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
He wore number 1. You're a dude if you're at Ohio State wearing number 1. You're the man. Straight up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Forget about it.
All right, guys. You heard it. Those are the top football movies. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying the podcast, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. And be sure to share the page with all your friends and your family and keep tuning in. We thank you very much. Until next time, we are out.
Let's talk football
with Coach Val.
Let's talk football
with Coach Val.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football
with Coach Val.
Let's talk football
with Coach Val.
Let's talk football
with Coach Val.
Let's talk football.
When I strap on that helmet, man, you ain't my friend. Touchdown, Red Hawks scored again. It's 4th and 1, and everyone says the punt. That's not my style, man, that ain't no fun.
Let's talk football, let's talk football, let's talk football.
With Coach Val. Said, what?